Welcome to Animates, a retro anime review comedy podcast. These episodes contain spoilers and adult language, so stick around if you're cool like that.
Hello and welcome back, everyone, to your favorite weekly anime review podcast. I am your one host, Lindsay, and I'm here with my fabulous co-host, as always, Mackenzie. Say hi, Mackenzie.
Hello.
Ooh, you're so spooky. You're in the season. I love it. Oh, man. Are you ready for my choice this week, Mackenzie?
Yes, because I love the spookies, but I'm a little nervous for two reasons.
Okay.
One, we already almost chose the same thing twice. And I'm pretty sure I have an idea of what this week is going to be based on hints from last week.
Mm-hmm.
And I could be wrong, but if I'm not, then I have to rethink my next episode.
Okay.
So I'm a little scared.
Ooh, well, I'm putting you in the mood. Yeah, so if there's one thing you know about me, you know that I love vampires. And you know this because I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3 right now. And apparently you're supposed to tell Astarion when to say stop, and I didn't, and it died.
He just kept on sucking.
I was like, he's like, say stop. And I was like, he told me he'd stop. He wouldn't drink me dry. He would just only take what he needed. So I was like, I'm just going to keep going. This is hot. And then I was like, oh, I'm dead. Okay, I got to reload this. Guess he didn't feel like using Revivify on me. Anyways, we're not here to talk about Astarion as much as I would love to. No, you're going to kind of know what this is because we reviewed, as we did last year, Vampire Hunter D. And unfortunately, the D stood for disappointment. I love vampire films. They're great. They're my favorite. And that one just didn't hit the spot for me. So I thought this year we could give it another try and try watching Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
This is good for two reasons.
Mm-hmm.
One, I knew you wanted to watch this, but I thought it would have been your number two choice because you hinted at something when I was making jokes about like comedy and everything, and you're like, well, blah, blah, blah.
I mean, it was going to be my number two choice, but I ended up playing Baldur's Gate all this week, so I didn't have a chance to actually fully research the other one I was going to bring.
So it's good for that reason because it means my number two is not your number one.
Mm-hmm.
But it also means I finally get to watch Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, which I've held off watching since we started this podcast. I've never actually seen it before.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, we are. That moment is now.
Hell yeah.
Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust came out in 2000. It was produced by Madhouse, which, you know, we've watched their stuff here before. It's lovely. It's amazing. And it was based off of Hideyuki Kikuchi's third book in the Vampire Hunter D series, Demon Death Case. So it's great. I very much like this better than the original. I'm so sorry.
No, like I said in our best and worst of the year video, my nostalgia for the original Vampire Hunter D was much higher than its actual like value when I rewatched it. I still love it, but from the few things I've seen of Bloodlust when we had talked about it a long time ago about possibly watching, does look pretty good.
The art director for this was Yuji Ikehara, and it's beautiful. I don't think I've ever seen such a beautiful looking animated film.
Is it less dark than the original?
I would say it's less dark. There's still darkness in it, but oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Like, I can't wait for you to see the backdrops in this show.
Sorry.
Or in this movie.
Sorry, no, while you were speaking, talking about how pretty it looked, my brain kind of drifted off and I was like, she's probably secretly talking about just the vampires.
Yes, and they are also so
but
pretty.
Then you said backdrops and I heard back shots.
This is our sexy Halloween episode.
And I was like, damn, girl. And then it clicked in that, no, you're talking about the backdrops. You're not talking about the sexy vampires.
Talk about the layouts.
Shots. Well, I'm sure there's some people being laid out in this.
Holy shit. Carmela is in this one? Oh, she can take me.
So this is the horny episode for Halloween.
I think it is. I think it is just because it's vampires and it's me. And I just, oh my gosh. Like, I love it. It's so good. And it's like, it's still got that, it has this really cool blend of like that classic horror aesthetic, but it's mixed with, there's science fiction elements in this one, which are really cool. I don't know. There's just like a lot of cool things going on in this that is fascinating, interesting. There's like really interesting baddies. And I
noticed there's
really
some like
enjoyed it.
hot baddies with the
Oh,
I saw the
yeah.
one girl with the crazy hair.
Yeah, she's pretty cool.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think you're gonna enjoy this, and I'm hoping you will enjoy it as we travel along, as we join our fabulous hunter D, our D hunter.
I remember that being your Twitter username on our last Halloween episode.
It was my Tinder username.
Sorry, your Tinder username being Vampire D Hunter.
I am still single.
You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. If anyone happens to be a hot goth boy who likes horror,
let's watch horror movies together, please. But yes, no, it's very good. I think you'll love it. One of the vampires looks like Kiefer Sutherland in The Lost Boys, so it's great. Do you have any other questions for me before we throw it to our intermission and we go watch this?
No, I'm pretty understanding of what's going on.
Sexy vampires.
Basically gonna go watch one of your wet dreams.
How dare you be absolutely correct. All right, well, you heard it here, folks. We're going to go watch Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, and we will be right back with our review of it. All right, we are back from slurping that up. And how'd you feel about that one, Mackenzie? Would you say it quenched your thirst, or was it a pain in the neck?
I'm assuming that was a blood reference, right?
It was. You are correct.
Don't vampires suck, not slurp?
I don't know.
What books have you been reading?
Wouldn't you like to know?
No, I really don't. However, last year we watched the original Vampire Hunter D movie.
Yep.
And so this time around, watching the Bloodlust film was different.
Okay. Different in what way?
I can't fucking believe how good it is.
Right?
Like,
holy shit.
It's incredible.
It's beautiful.
It makes the OG one look bad in so many ways.
Yeah, it blows the OG away. It dusts it.
Yeah.
Well, and it was funny because even while I was doing research for this episode, I learned that Hideyuki Kikuchi even complained about the cheapness of the first movie and was very excited that there was going to be a second movie made, and that like Madhouse was handling it, and you know, the kind of the team who was on it.
It is set against stunning visuals.
Oh my gosh, they're like photographic quality almost.
Holy shit, the scenery in this is incredible. Like that castle at the end.
So stunning. I was like, I want to live here. I don't care about the amount of cardio I'd have to do to go up all those stairs.
It's insane. I could not believe how beautiful looking this series is.
Mm-hmm.
And the story, too, it's beautiful.
I know.
It's full of action. I did not see it going where it was going.
I know.
And
that
I was
third
happy.
act, you were like, wait, what?
Yeah, and I was happy with where it ended. Mm-hmm. It's somehow like a perfect love story set amongst carnage and despair.
Mm-hmm.
I was not expecting an actual love story in this, where it almost feels like Dee was the villain.
Right? There's so much like gray morality in this, and it's just, the relationships, they're all just so good, and all the characters are so well-rounded, and like they all have good connections with each other. Oh, yes. I love this movie.
The characters in this are way better than the original, too.
We can actually, remember them.
Like good and bad guy alike.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
the baddies are amazing.
Oh my God, such a good roster. Everyone looks incredible. They can handle their own. They have unique powers, which was nice. It's not just like, I'm a vampire.
Aha!
It's like,
there was some cool.
I'm a weird melody lady. I'm a werewolf guy. And of course, there was a lot of hotties.
Oh, so many hotties.
I guarantee you were drooling over our main hottie McVamp daddy.
Yes. Of course. He looks like Kiefer Sutherland in The Lost Boys. Of course I'm going to.
I know you were just like clawing at your screen trying to open it up to be able to jump through and become Charlotte, his love.
Give me. I want uppies.
Give me them vampire uppies. Vampire hunter uppies.
Oh my gosh, let's start this.
It's our new vampire podcast where we just talk about hot vampires.
Which ones we'd climb like a tree.
And which ones we want to pick us up.
Oh, yes. Sorry, yes.
You know what's crazy? I think that would probably get listens.
Oh, it absolutely. Have you seen how many people sit for Astarion right now?
Oh
yes.
God. Oh, man.
Jeez.
Yeah. But yeah, it's set amongst, like I said, these great characters, this great story, these great visuals, and then holy shit, the soundtrack in this.
Right? These like high quality orchestral scores just like underscoring everything.
Yeah,
It's so good.
When it needs to be beautiful and haunted, it's beautiful and haunting. When it needs to be action-packed and exciting, it's action-packed and exciting, but it's not like rock. It's still like this intense, you said, orchestral amazingness.
Oh my gosh. It just makes everything so much more lush and more it more opulent, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just yum 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 yum. Yes.
And
yes,
like
yes,
the
yes,
sound
yes.
effects are way better than the original. And again, I'm talking shit on the original. I still love the original, but it does not hold a vampire feck-nulling candle to this one at all.
Amazing.
Good reference. Just thought out on the
Yes.
spot.
No, that was excellent. I was banging what you were mowing.
I've never heard that before.
Oh, I say it like all the time.
Oh, yeah. The
Well-
whole thing from start to finish was great.
Holy crap.
Speaking of the start,
Mhm.
we begin in like this, and this is like the first visual you get is like this cinematic introduction as we like pan across this damaged old city and graveyard with like crosses on every roof, being like, fuck you, vampires and demons, you're not welcome here. But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, all of the crosses just like just bend and break. Because when you're a vampire lord, that shit don't matter to you.
Nope, not
Like,
at all.
The plants are dying, the water is freezing as like this demon horse carriage just rushes through town. You're like, okay, strong start.
Not fucking around here.
I see what we're doing here. We got a girl in her bed as like the window bursts open and it seems like she's cowering and afraid as her roses die and her mirror breaks. Which again, sweet visual.
Oh, so cool.
And then she's taken away and you're like, oh, okay, so we're going to go on a rescue mission for like a girl that's been taken, which is exactly what happens because the next non-intro scene is just a bunch of snipers hiding in an abandoned church while D approaches and this dude's like, I need you to find my sister, bro. She was taken. Her name's Charlotte. Here's $10 million. And D's like, nah, bro, that ain't enough to go after that vampire. Give me more. And the dude's dad is like, okay, I'll double it. Which is crazy because he's already hired other people to do this, and I guarantee he's not paying them double the fee.
Right? I was like, how much is the other team being paid? Also, just the fact that he's like, I'll let you do it. Like, I'll double it if you kill my daughter if she's already turned, but make it quick.
Yeah, and the brother's like, how could you? And he's like, I don't want her being a vampire.
Well, yeah, like it makes sense. Like,
Just don't torture her, and we're good.
Yeah, just make it quick. It's fine.
Yeah, and speaking of the brothers, it's not just two brothers. It's like a group of people.
It's like 3 brothers and then Layla.
Yeah, and they drive a giant anti-vamp tank, and we get this
With like a
scene
cross in it.
Kind of, yeah, like the lamps are crosses, and they like put out like UV cross light. They're like driving through town, and all these vampires are chasing it, and all this jazz. And then like they get out of their tank. And everyone in this band of brothers is cool looking.
Oh, yeah. They're so cool.
There's one of them who looks like the candle-carrying vampire from the original.
Oh, yep.
The 80s dude.
Yeah, the red hair.
Yeah, feels like it's on purpose. Kyle, which like worst name for this.
I know, right?
Sort
Kyle. Ugh. Sorry, any Kyles that listen to this podcast.
In a futuristic vampire story, Kyle's a silly name.
Yeah, we're not naming futuristic vampire hunters Kyle. Sorry.
But we've also got, as you mentioned, Layla, who is a red latex clad babe with a strong brow and a sick haircut.
And a solid set of shoulder pads.
Hell yeah. She's got a sick collar going on.
Oh man, her outfit is so cool.
It's dope. I love her
outfit.
outfit.
To see a cosplay of it.
I mean, there probably is. Hold on now.
Oh yeah, right. Everybody pause while we Google Layla cosplays. Ooh, that's a pretty good cosplay. The hair's a little gross, but... Oh, that's Yaya Han. So yeah, that makes sense that one's good. Yeah, those aren't bad.
But yeah, the dudes are absolutely destroying these vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Like, guy can aim a crossbow like it's no one's business. And like, he hears a horse coming, he fires a bolt and almost kills D, but he catches it. And then we get this sick shot as the horse like rears up against the moon.
This was such a cool shot. I loved this. Oh my gosh. Just like the cape becoming bat wings and it's just like backlit by this huge full moon. It was so good.
It's so cinematic. I don't understand.
And just, the like fluidity of like the fabric moving. It just, everything is so good.
Oh, yeah. But they let him go.
Not like they really had a choice. They didn't really choose to let him go. I feel like if they had decided to be like, no, D would have fucked them up.
Probably. But this is in the next scene where we meet his left hand.
Oh my gosh, I love Left Hand.
The parasite. Unfortunately, this version is not as cool as the OG.
I don't remember the OG.
The OG was like cocky and evil and like really ready to like fuck shit up. And this one is like an old man who's like afraid of things a lot of the time. Like, we can't go in there. It's spooky.
Just remember about the sunlight syndrome, D.
Yeah, and then the original hand was just like, let me eat their souls. So
he uses the hand to like track, and he's like, "Hey, I'm suffocating now."
Oh yeah, because he's like putting it in the dirt. And don't get me wrong, it's a fun hand, but I prefer the OG one.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that because I don't remember Left Hand in the OG.
Anyways, making their way
downtown.
Kind of. They're making their way to an invisible house with like these sick defenses that like when things go near it, these eye lasers appear and shoot things.
Oh yeah.
And he like finds a way of getting through it by just flicking pebbles as he walks towards it, keeping all the eyes busy. Which are like,
I was like, I feel like this is a pretty big flaw in their security system.
Yeah, literally. I was like, hold the fuck on here. That seems a little silly. But oh well. Doesn't matter because Layla shows up on her like motorcycle and she pulls like a sick move and I'm like, oh shit, she's gonna fuck everything up in like a good way, and then promptly gets her ass laid the fuck out.
You're like, wow, thanks Layla, you really helped. Thanks for the assist.
Yeah. And then this is where like Dee jumps on the carriage of our baddie Meyer. Yeah,
Meyer.
And like this is when we first see him, and my first thought I was like, Lindsay had drool on her notebook.
Yeah,
it's water damaged.
You know what's funny?
Is it water damaged?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's not from this. I don't remember what happened, but
sure
it is
not.
a water.
But then like, so they're fighting, and then Dee lets him go, I guess, because he's like, the girl wants to be here. And then she like calls out his name during the fight. And I'm like, come on, bro. She's clearly brainwashed.
Do you think she's brainwashed?
At this moment, I did.
Oh, okay.
She seemed scared in the opening intro. And then, you know, vampires be vampiring.
They do that.
Dee's like, all right, well, let me think about this. And then he like sees Layla and heals her up. And she's a total bitch about it. She's like dying from a wound in her chest, and he like stops the bleeding, stitches her up, and she's like, oh, do you always go around taking off people's clothes? And he's like,
I know, right? I was like, bitch, calm down. He helped you. Like, do you say that to paramedics as well?
I was gonna say, if I'm ever found in the street and I'm bleeding near my thigh to death, you can take off my pants, people, if it's gonna save my fucking life.
Literally, when I was wheeled into the trauma bay with my broken arm, they started taking my clothes off, and my first thought was not, whoa now, like, do you always do that, people? I was like, no, they're going to put me into surgery, so they need to, like, make sure everything's okay.
Yeah, you can't be wearing your, like, glass speckled clothing into surgery.
What kind of clothing do you think I was wearing?
Your window broke.
Oh, sorry. No, it didn't break. I just had airbag on me.
Oh, okay. I thought there was a shattering of a window.
No, weirdly, my windows were the one thing that were totally fine.
That is weird.
Anyways.
The left hand doesn't shut the fuck up this entire next scene. He's offering nothing but bad commentary and not funny jokes the entire way, just bitching about where they're going.
Which I'm like, I understand why he would put his hand in the sand.
Yeah. But so the bros, the band of brothers, catch up with the McBaddie's carriage. But it's just an illusion made from cloth.
Whoa, dang it. Bamboozled, motherfuckers.
Holy shit, the vampire in the scene is crazy because it literally moves. Well, I don't think it's a vampire. It's more like a demon guy.
Yeah, I think it's more of like a supernatural being.
Yeah, it like moves through the shadows and can kill you by stabbing your shadow.
How terrifying is that?
Which it does to one of the brothers. And he's just standing there, you good? And he's like, oh, fuck, he's dead. And they actually care about this. They are upset by this because, you know, they're a band of brothers.
Band of brothers.
And I'm just like, whoa, okay, that's a little intense. As that shit's going down, Dee heads to the demon city of Barbaroi, which has the goofiest looking demons ever. Like, it literally pans
100%.
over. And there's this one demon with his arms waving like a wacky inflatable arm man being like, just, he pops out from behind like a wall and is like, and then like disappears. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, it's like a weird freak circus of this world, but it's not. I don't know.
They're like apparently super powerful and ancient, and they look after all of like people who pay them.
And they were like riding unicycles or something.
Yeah, the main guy was riding. He was very weird, very Saw-like almost. But
yeah. Oh, it was very Jigsaw-like.
yeah, but bro is like, D is basically like, I want you to stop protecting Lindsay's vampire crush.
How dare you?
And the demon leader's like, I really respect you, but we're also gonna kill you now.
We're getting paid a lot of money that you could never pay us, so we're gonna just keep protecting them.
And look, if I had to die, I would 100% want it to be at the hands of the green-haired baddie that we very briefly see.
Caroline?
Holy moly.
Wow. First off, her cleavage is perfection.
And then that hair is like...
Oh my gosh, I wish I had that much volume.
It's like the sisters from Tank Police.
It is.
Larger and green.
Oh man. Ooh, you could step on my throat.
So they're like, we're going to attack. And so at this point, we've met most of the family. Mm-hmm. But there's one brother that we've seen who is like on his deathbed in this tank, hooked up to like IV units.
Just fucking emaciated.
Like literally skin and bones. And they're like, we're going to inject you. Don't go too hard or else you'll kill yourself. And he's like, I got it. And I thought he was going to like beef up into like Bane from Batman.
Yeah, that's Hulk what I thought too.
And just like charge out there and do stuff. No, somehow bro just like gets injected with this stuff and then like astral projects out to like this battle and just like starts firing like holy light balls at all of these things, just like fucking everybody up. And I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Who is this?
Is he going, instead of beast mode, he's going angel mode and just like,
guess,
but it only lasts so long, and then he like goes back to his body and he's like, oh my god,
he's like into his like little oxygen mask.
Yeah, just like, darling, I did too much. But like, okay, what's even crazier is that Caroline, our green-haired baddie, her powers are insane.
She's so buffed. Holy moly.
Like, they are driving away later on and she's like standing in the middle of the road and they like almost hit her and they're like, where'd she go? And they're like, I don't know, probably caught up in the wheels. No, she's like underneath holding on to the vehicle. And I'm like, oh, what's she gonna do? Like crawl through it? No, she can like melt into different materials.
She's just a shapeshifter that, can become whatever she's touching.
And she like liquefies herself and then all of the metal in the tank starts like turning into spikes and shooting out everywhere.
Yeah.
She does miss everybody.
Yeah,
but it doesn't matter because she's way cooler than the baddies from the OG version already.
Oh, 100%.
The OG baddies were boring as fuck compared to this.
The Robin Williams guy.
Yeah. And then like Mick Cloth Demon, his powers are cool too because we know he moves through the shadows and stab people through the shadows. But he can also like use the thread from his cloths to like bind people and be like, well, you're just going to rot here now.
Yeah.
Does it to D, but D's hand absorbs the spell because it can do that.
Yeah, go left hand.
Go
left hand parasite.
But yeah, everyone survives and they like go into town to like fix their tank and refuel it. And the guy in the town is like, no, you guys are saving our asses. You don't have to pay. But being the good guys they are, Kyle's like, no, man, take my fucking money. What are you talking about? And they like go to leave and Layla's like, I'm going to stay back and talk to D. And I love this fucking interaction between Kyle and Layla because he's like, watch your back. But also, have I told you that you are quite irresistible in that tight outfit? And she's like,
I know, and I was like, ugh.
But she's like, no, tell me about it. And he goes, I just did. And I was like, that is so fucking cheesy, but I love it so much.
I feel like at that point he puts his sunglasses on and it just goes, oh yeah!
Oh, like hell old school. Yeah.
Oh, that's exactly the energy that happened right there.
And she played into it. She knew what he wanted to do. She gave it to him. But I was thinking like, oh, she's going to hang back. She's going to talk to D and be like, look, man, we're getting fucked up. We got to partner up. We could do all this stuff. No, she's just there to like sabotage him because he's like needing a new horse because his horse died. Poor horse.
R.I.P. horse.
But no, she's just there to sabotage him getting a horse.
Yep. Have a beer, have some sabotage,
He like goes to this blacksmith. And he's like, how much for the horse? And the blacksmith's like 300,000. And he's like, okay. And he puts out some coins. And it made me realize that 10 million isn't exactly as much as I thought it was.
I know. I was like, wow, 20 million. That's so much. And then I was like, oh, inflation, I guess. And this is in the future. So I guess it's not as much.
But it's still a lot. Mm-hmm. And like, Layla's drinking in a bar and the sheriff's like, what are you doing here? She's like, oh, I think you should more worry about the okay. Sorry. Side note. They call them stupid fucking names in this show. It's supposed to be Dampier.
Yeah, that's what they say.
No, they don't.
What do they say?
They say Dampeel.
Oh, I thought I just wasn't listening or hearing it right. But yeah, I thought it was...
It is it is incorrect.
Ooh.
They say Dampeel, but it's Dampeel with an R.
Yeah.
Anyway,
like-
she's like,
yeah.
She's like, well, one of those over there. And he like goes over and he like pulls out a gun with his little cop buddies. And
He's like, not in my town.
you're not going to do that. And then thankfully, the blacksmith believes in ACAB because he pulls this giant fucking shotgun on the sheriff and is like, nah, this man saved me when I was a child. Let him go or I'll kill your racist cop ass. I don't care if he's half vampire. The fuck out of here. This is my business. I can sell to whoever I want.
He's like, you guys don't remember, but this man was like very helpful back in the day. Okay, is this the small kid from the first movie?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like the little brother or something.
No, because he talked about like an orphanage and all this stuff.
Oh, okay.
So he like leaves on his horse and I'm like, yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about. Fuck that guy. And Dee catches up with Charlotte in like this little pond area that her captor has let her go into. And she's like, I know he's a vampire and he's killed all these people, but I love him.
But I love him.
Daddy doesn't understand. And at the
I thought this part was very sweet because he's like, they were like, Master, what are you doing? He's like, she wants to see the sunlight, so we need to let her, like, I just want to let her go.
Is that like, first moment where you're like, oh, hold on. He's treating her very well, and she's still human.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay. Kind of thinking in my mind, I was like, I'm not sure what's going on. What kind of game is he playing at this moment? But then, like, Layla shows up, and she's like, girl, shut the fuck up. And then this is where we actually get to properly see green hair baddie's powers.
Oh man, do we ever.
She doesn't just do metal. She does stone, she does wood, she does her own hair. She is growing and shifting and doing all that crazy stuff. And like, it's wild. Just all the things she's sending out of these guys. And then Dee beheads her.
Yeah.
And you're like,
that's a pretty solid way of doing this.
She's dead.
Yep.
And she's like strung up by her own hair. But then as he walks away, it like goes to the head. We get that sharp like violin hit as the eyes open. Like,
yeah.
And I'm like, hell yeah, she's not done yet, baby.
She's got a little bit more in her.
But as you had mentioned previously with the hand being like, can't be in the sun for too long, you're still partially vampire. Dee gets vampire heat stroke.
Oh,
which is like such a stupid, funny thing. And apparently the only way he can heal is by burying himself in dirt.
Yep.
Layla sees him like buried in the dirt.
Wait. Before we get to that, we have to talk about him trying to dig a hole.
Oh, yeah. With his like thin blade.
He's got like a rapier and he's trying to dig a hole, use it as a spade. And I'm like, oh.
And then when we see him, he only like buried his torso because it's the best he could do with his options. And Layla like literally feels bad at this. I don't know if because she's like, this is just sad, or if it's like, this is sad. But she like tells her brothers, nope, haven't seen him. And then like it starts raining. So she like goes and waits by his like body. Like, I get it. She feels a little bad because she realizes he's not like this evil dude because she heard the story from the blacksmith and he kind of saved her. And it's like, all right, okay. And then the green hair girl shows up again and gets a knife in the head. And you're like, oh, okay. Is this her end? And she's like, haha, that's not going to kill me. I'm going to throw the knife back at you. And then just a perfect strike of lightning.
I know. I was like, wow, that was
knife.
Very, very lucky.
Like, blows this girl to all hell, fries the shit out of her. And that's finally her death. Like, what a perfectly timed. And I mean, they are in a tree during a thunderstorm. Adding a bit of metal probably didn't help.
Mm-hmm.
But it was very, very plot armory.
I know. I was like, this is very convenient.
But it was still a good visual.
Oh, absolutely. I am not going to complain. I enjoyed it.
No, but so like Dee and Layla, or Lila, or whatever it is, Layla, are like sharing some backstory. And it's your typical vamp backstory. Like, oh, my family was killed by vampires and now I'm alone and I'll die alone. And for some reason, she gets really soft and she's like, Dee. Sorry, the word soft and Dee right after another. She gets really soft Dee.
It's always so disappointing. She's really thumbing in this backstory.
But she's like, we're about to go into this battle. We'll probably be there together. Whichever one of us comes out alive, whoever dies, you have to go to their grave and lay flowers. And I'm like, okay, all of a sudden you're getting real sweet.
Yeah.
And then we cut to an incredibly insane scene because the brothers have staked out this bridge. They've set explosives. They're doing an ambush. They like blow up one part of it to stop the carriage and then like scare off one of the guards who like falls off the edge of the bridge. And you're like, great job. Well done. Right? Mm-hmm. Cool.
They're like focused.
Yeah. And you're like, no, not cool. Not job well done. Because Hottie McVampire, like walks into the sun. And this is the moment when I went, oh, hold the fucking phone. Because he is on fire. He is dying. He's trying to get to Charlotte, who's been taken away from his carriage. And she like runs from their arms to him, and he's like on fire and in flames. She like pulls an arrow from his chest, and she's like, I will die with you if you are to die. And I'm like, holy shit, he actually loves her.
Yeah.
He's putting his own life at risk to try and save her, knowing it will likely kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
I know.
And then fucking the guard that got knocked off, who is actually like a werewolf, not only has a giant wolf head in his chest,
yeah,
also has X-ray vision.
Because why not? Let's throw that in there.
As he falls off the edge, actually just climbs back up and takes off all the explosives and throws them into the water, and then kills Kyle.
Sorry, Kyle.
Just like slits his throat. Kyle's dead.
Hey, it's effective.
And Big Bro's like, no, fuck this, I'm gonna kill them all. Like jumps off the bridge and like Epic's like falling back, like pulls the trigger, and he's like, fuck you guys. But the water he's falling towards is the one that has the explosives in it now. And he's just like enveloped in an explosion. He survives.
Somehow.
But like, I mean, mostly because the water ate most of the fire and it was mostly concussive that hit him. But
fair.
Still, he's like, sick, I'm gonna take you out. And he's like, haha. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, fuck. You're like,
shit, maybe you won't.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I cannot believe, again, how in love with this fucking girl this guy is.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they're gonna live because the bridge didn't blow up. So they like get in the carriage and he's like, don't worry about my scars, my darling. They will heal. And he's like about to bite her neck and she's like, why don't you? And he's like, I don't want you to live a life of temptation and damnation for blood. And I'm like, he's not even fucking gonna turn her?
No.
Oh my God. He's like really loving this girl.
I know, it's so cute. I love them so much.
And there's not a lot of downtime in this film.
Mm-mm.
It is like every scene matters in this film.
Oh yeah, there's no like fluffy whatever scenes. Like everything is important, and everything has a purpose in this film.
And this next scene is when I realized Dee might kind of be the bad guy of this one.
Right?
Because the Hand gives us some exposition where he's like, I know the only reason you're still going with this, even though it's crazy, is because you don't want them having a baby that's a Dampier. And I'm like, hold on a second here. Is he being anti-race mixing?
He's like, we have to keep the bloodline pure.
He's a Dampier.
Maybe he doesn't want someone else to be subjected to the life that he had to live.
No, that's exactly what he doesn't want.
Mm-hmm.
But also, that's not your decision.
No.
If these two are trying to get away from both of their fathers that want them to live these like one like queen life and the other like evil vampire life, and they just want to escape, you should just let him fucking go.
Right? 100%.
But no, because he's got to finish the job.
He's got 20 mil on the line.
Meyer and Charlotte make their way into the castle of Kaith, run by a very cool looking vampire named Carmilla.
She's stunning.
I like her style.
Holy crap, her design is beautiful.
It's the version I was watching wasn't super high quality, so every time I saw something I would go and Google images from it to like get the full proper scan of it.
Oops, I watched the Blu-ray version. I should have sent you mine.
Yeah, I did not. Wasn't bad, but like there's a couple things where I just wanted to Google to see it in HD. Yeah, she's incredible looking.
Oh my gosh.
She's like a vampire bound to this castle because her father like stabbed a sword through her body because her bloodlust got too much. Like it's crazy story.
It's so cool.
But this is where things get really weird because I was not expecting there to be this giant castle that has a spaceship in it.
Right? You're like, wait, what?
To take them to like this special like place in the stars for vampires and humans to live.
Yeah, it's so that because they don't have to worry about the sun. I was like, I was 100% not expecting that at all.
You know what, though? Normally, I would clown on that, but I wasn't mad at it because it wasn't like a spaceship, because this is 10,000 years in the future. I was expecting like an old NASA spaceship kind of style. No, it's like this intricate, like steampunky kind of like spaceship.
It made me think of Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
Their like weird castle rocket ship at the end. Yeah.
Exactly. But I was like, what the fuck is going on now? But this is when I would mention the castle earlier. This is incredible looking.
Oh my gosh.
The design in visuals of this castle, the details put into this are years beyond.
Stunning. It blows my mind the level of detail that they put in this castle.
Yeah. They heard the one complaint from the OG when the first one came out, and they were like, we're going to make it good for you.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna
Yuji
make this
Ikehata would just like popped off and was like, oh, you want it to not look cheap? I'm going to do all of this most incredible like setting design and layouts and everything. And I just drool. It's
So
just
much
so beautiful.
Fucking
They're
detail.
works of art. I just,
Like,
oh my gosh.
Oh, a whole castle.
I wish I could have like a fraction of the illustration ability.
Beautiful. The animation in this entire end part, I mean, the whole of it's been great, but this end part's just crazy.
This like
of
Gothic
course.
Baroque castle. Or Gothic Rococo, I mean.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. Sorry.
Don't let me misspeak my architectural eras.
How dare you?
I know.
Uh,
Shame on me.
But of course, the brothers show up and they instantly split the party. I mean, I say the brothers, but it was really just Layla and the main dude.
Layla and Borgoff.
That's his name, right?
We gotta have that European influence somewhere.
Of course. Can't just have Kyle. I'm really sorry to anyone who listens to our podcast named Kyle.
Sorry, Kyles.
We're not talking about your name specifically. We're just in this context. It's
just in the context of this show, it's a little bit weird.
It's like going into like a period piece set in like the 1700s Europe, and it's like,
hey, my name's Chad.
Yeah. Yo, what up? This is my castle. These are my bros. Grab yourself a blood cooler from the fridge. Like, yo, bro, I really love.
Grab yourself a Bloodweiser.
Yo. That's good. I like that.
Oh man, I'm really proud of myself for that.
I like that. That's fucking hilarious.
I want that on a t-shirt.
Bloodweiser. Hold on, I'll make one for you later.
Oh my gosh, you're the best.
But what was his name? Morgoth? Argoth?
Borgoth.
Borgoth, right.
Borgoth.
He like goes and he sees his like brothers and he's like, oh shit, you're not dead. They just captured you. And then they fucking kill his ass.
They're just floating in coffins and he sees nothing wrong with this.
They're not actually there. It's an illusion. He dies. And you're like, oh shit. Okay. Bro is like, cause I felt bad for him because I was like, oh man, you think that's that, but now you're dead. Whoops. But everyone's having visions. Like Layla seeing her child self, Dee's seeing his mother, but he's smart and he's like, I've seen this shit before.
He's like, I know these tricks. You're not gonna get me, Carmilla.
Yeah.
He rolls high on his perception checks.
Yeah, he like saves Camilla from hers, and then like big bro Morgoth. What is it? Sorry, again.
Borgoth,
Goth, whatever. Big bro shows up, and she's like, "Oh my god, you're here! Now we've got most of the group. We can do this." But he's like, "Nah, bitch, I'm a vampire now." And then you're like, "Oh shit, he's gonna kill Layla." But then the bro, who's in like the emaciated state in the tank or whatever, injects himself with his like special serum.
Yep.
And like astral projects and pulls a Chaozu from DBZ Saiyan Saga, which means nothing to you.
You just spoke a different language.
Basically suicides himself.
Oh, buddy.
Uses all of his power to blow this guy up. He dies in the tank because he can no longer handle it.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I love this. I mentioned this in our first episode. I love a horror where everyone just fucking dies. It wouldn't be a good vampire show.
You don't like a happy ending.
Not per se. But again, we like get insane visuals and music in this moment when Hottie McBatty, who, by the way, got cut in half by D. Forgot to mention that.
Can we talk about how heartbreaking his illusion was?
What happened to his illusion again?
He wasn't cut in half by D. It was all Carmilla's like hallucination for him. Because it's like D holding Charlotte and then he being like, Charlotte wants to come with me and she wants to go home. She doesn't want to be here anymore. And it's just like heartbreaking.
I didn't realize that was an illusion.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. I missed that part. Oh, fuck, that's really sad because he's breaking his heart and then cuts him in half.
I know.
Well, shit, okay. Well, he doesn't come back to life. He is still alive, and Hottie McBatty shows up, and this whole fucking scene gave me literal chills on my skin.
With Carmilla and Charlotte?
She's like, him and Dee are fighting again, and then like Carmilla's like getting fucked up and her like blood body is like coming out of its coffin and like I can't explain this scene properly. It's insane. The visuals are wild. I got literal chills, like goosebumps going on when I was watching this. The music is perfect. It's so incredible. Holy shit.
I know.
And then Meyer, he's like still trying to take Charlotte to space and Dee still doesn't get it. And I'm like, I'm on Meyer's side now. Let these lovers be.
100%. Just leave them alone. They're wanting like literally, you literally don't have to bring a body back. Like, just let them go. Leave them alone.
Is she dead or not? Because
I don't know because Carmilla did like basically slit her throat and take her blood.
But now she might just have to become a vampire.
Yeah, I think she's in that weird in between state where it's like he can either let her die or he can turn her.
Oh my gosh. Like they're fighting each other, blah, 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 blah. And then Layla takes off Charlotte's ring and like tosses it, and Dee like catches it on his sword, stabs Meyer, but misses his heart. And Meyer's like, why aren't you killing me? And Dee's like, I got her ring. I'll say that's all that's left. And I'm like, okay, thank you, Dee, for finally picking up
Right?
on like what's going on here. And he like leaves them as they like exit the castle to like go away on his horse. And you look back and the whole thing is crumbling. With no longer the soul of Camilla there to hold it up, it just falls to time. And you're like, oh shit. And then they start cheering on Meyer, or at least Layla is cheering on Meyer.
Yeah, she's like,
being
do
like,
it.
Do it. Get in there.
It.
Get to space. And you see this like spaceship blast off and make it from the rubble to like go have them live together forever in space. And I'm just like, oh my God.
I know.
Why is this such a good love story?
They did it.
It shouldn't be.
But it is.
And you mentioned how like I just said like happy endings aren't as good. This is one of those times where I love a happy ending because we're at a funeral. And at first I was like, oh, is this Charlotte's family doing a funeral for her body or something?
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Nope. It is now apparently like 60 years in the future. And it's Layla's funeral. And there's a little girl that looks like her that sees Dee in the shadows of a tree. And she runs over and she's like, hey, mister, you're him, aren't you? You're the one that saved my mom.
Grandma.
Or my grandma, right? Yeah, this is yeah, right. Long time in the future. And she's like, can you come for dinner with my family? My mom would really like it. He's like, I'm just here to fulfill a promise, which was laying roses at her grave. And then I got fucking chills again because I was like, holy fucking shit. Her whole thing was that she's going to die alone. And now she's surrounded by a full family that she had with children and grandchildren, all of these friends. And I'm like, what the shit? I was not expecting any of this, but it's so fucking good.
Oh my gosh, but I'm so happy we got this.
I'm sorry I didn't have you watch this one last year.
It's okay. It's okay.
Because it's so much better. I hate to say it, but it's so much better.
So much better. Oh man. And the funny thing is, like, people online agree it's also so much better.
Mm-hmm. I don't doubt. I was gonna say, I would put this at a solid, like, I'd put it a solid 8. Right.
You are very close. Very close
8.
to like Mal. On Mal, it almost is an 8. It's 7.94. And I would 100% agree with that. It's so good.
So good. You know what? I would probably even go higher because of just like the visuals and everything. Like, fuck it. I'm gonna give it like I really like this. I got physical chills watching it. Fuck it. I'm going 8.5.
Yay!
It was so fucking good. I don't know how I've never seen it. I mean, I know I was gonna, and then I was like, oh, maybe I'll wait in case we do it next year. But I don't know why before this podcast, I had never seen it.
I don't think I would have ever seen this movie if it wasn't for this podcast.
Well, now you've got another sexy vampire to add to your roster.
It's true. I mean, I think I will add, this movie will go in my like collection of vampire movies that I absolutely love and will watch over and over again. Like, this will go in with like Queen of the Damned and Blade, and I'm trying to think of other ones that I really, Lost Boys and The Hunger and things like that. Like, I really enjoyed this movie.
That's awesome.
And I think if people are listening and they really love vampire movies and vampire content and stuff like that, please watch this movie. I think you will really enjoy it as well, even though we now told you the entire plot, but still watch it.
Yeah, watch it anyways for the visuals. Mm-hmm. Don't watch the version I did. Watch the DVD version.
Yeah, there's a Blu-ray version. Watch that one.
Where did you find the Blu-ray version?
On the 7 Seas.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was watching on Internet Archive.
Oh, okay.
Which is like the low seas.
Yeah.
But no, I had a good time with this. I really liked it.
Good. I'm glad.
It's hard to be like funny talking about it very much because it's just so good.
I know, it's just us being like, this is amazing. This is so good. Listen to the score.
People who listen to it had a good time hearing us.
We added Bloodweiser in there. I think they'll be happy.
That's true. We talked about hot latex clad and green hair clad ladies.
Yeah, there's some sexy ladies.
It's a good time.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best thing about watching vampire stuff is there's always hotties.
Someone's sexy and it's great. There's someone for everybody.
Oh,
wow. I don't know. Oh man. Oh, well, thank you everybody for sticking with us and listening to our second Halloween episode for this year. If you enjoyed the podcast, I would encourage you and, send you over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/animates. It's great. We have lots of different tier options that we'd really appreciate your support. so that it can kind of help keep us going on watching anime and bringing you amazing retro anime content every week.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you can get ad-free episodes on there, and there'll be some other fun little perks that you can go discover for yourself, so we really appreciate that.
We can get all of our videos as well without having YouTube ads on them.
Oh my gosh, YouTube ads are the worst. They get more audacity all the time.
They don't even show the time on them half the time on mobile now. You just have to wait to see when you can click skip.
Yep. It's
Bastards.
the worst. Yep. So patreon.com/animates helps you avoid all of that. Favorite the podcast anywhere you listen to it really helps us. Same with our YouTube. We post lots of really cool content on there, as we mentioned.
It's mostly just me embarrassing Lindsay.
He does. But you can also listen to me try to name Pokemon, so it's all fun things like that. Oh my gosh. Well, that's it for this week. Come back next week for more Halloween themed content, and Mackenzie is going to bring something for me to watch. So we'll see how this goes. But until then, enjoy spooky season and see you next Tuesday.
We'll be back for episode 1, 2, 3.